part of it is a non-hearing because it's just a subdivision with a one-lot split. And then there are variation orders that require public hearings. So it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag as far as putting everything in order for us here. So I'm going to start with our first conditional use application. It's number 40 of 2023, and if I could have a resolution to move into the public hearing, please.
Resolved, the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for conditional use 40, 2023.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover? Councillor Spicer, Councillor Horbis. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And I will turn it over to our planner, Derek Eno, to walk us through that application, please.
Oh. Have you ever seen that before?
I've seen that before.
Okay, let me go like this.
Let's turn that
Oh,
off.
come on, bud. You kicked him out.
No, but it shouldn't kick him out, because,
Oh, there he is.
okay, I'll keep mine unplugged for now.
Oh, there we go. I tuned it. Thank you.
That was weird.
Graduated glasses and poor eyesight now, so thanks for the big screen. So this is conditional use 40 of 2023. It's for a property on 2 Mile Road. And it falls under the any other residential use not listed category. Specifically what the applicant wants to do is a recreational vehicle and boat repair type of a business. There are some other categories in the zoning bylaws I should note. Home industry is one. It allows for really automotive types of repair businesses. And there's another category that's recreational vehicle sales and service. We only find those in commercial areas. That would fit. So that's why we're using the any other use not listed. It's kind of that catch-all to give people the opportunity to come and make a proposal. So the applicants want to establish this business. Here's the subject property. You can see on 2 Mile Road. A little bit of the site plan that the applicant has provided, and they're proposing to utilize the existing 24 by 36 accessory building for their repair areas, and then they have a bit of a gravel area for a little bit of outdoor storage. They're proposing that it's going to be operated by the property owner, the applicant here, as well as business operations will be Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, by appointment only. Just a couple of things for council to consider. The applicant has identified, as I said, this will be for boats and recreational types of vehicles. There will be a little bit of outdoor storage. This has been circulated to your municipality and public works if somebody have any concern with this. I believe this did stem from a bylaw enforcement issue, and that's why this has come forward for the applicant to kind of make it right for council. So should you choose to approve this, there are 2 conditions that are suggested. One is that any the conditional use is limited to what's being proposed. Any changes would require a new conditional use, so that means as well if they want to build like a bigger building and have more space and intensify the use, it's going to come back to council. And then they also have to obtain any required permits from our office as well as from the municipality. That's all I have, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that, Derek. Any questions to the planner from members of council? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
2 questions.
Yes.
Is there any regulation for how much equipment can be sitting in the yard under this any other use category?
There is not. If this fell under the category of home industry, I believe you're not allowed to have outdoor storage. That being the case, if council wants to put parameters on any outdoor storage area, fencing, screening, you can absolutely do that as a condition of approval.
And the second one is, there's no time limit on this. Have we ever considered putting time limits on conditional use approvals?
I can't recall if St. Clements has done that. I know St. Andrews has. Putting time limits is something that you're absolutely within your rights to do as a condition of approval. I know some of our municipalities have done that, because it's a new business and they may not be sure just how it's gonna fit in the neighborhood. Give them a few years to figure it out, see if it works well. If it does, come back for another application, see if it extends more. We've also seen councils put time limits on businesses, and they become quite successful. These are almost like a business incubator type of a scenario, and when the time limit's up, council says, hey, that's fantastic. Maybe it's now time to find a commercial spot for you, because your business is super successful. So, yeah, time limit, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have questions?
I did have one, but I can't see that. I was looking at it before, something to do with the recreational vehicles, they would be stored in another spot, other than that property, they're, or what?
Was it in their letter?
I guess so.
I recall another spot. I know they identified about a 26 by 30 outdoor gravel area.
No, but also it said the recreational vehicles that would be stored in another location. I just can't find it here, so it's okay.
Perhaps that could clarify that.
Okay, and I do have one question, and I know at one time we used to sometimes have these on here, and basically it was a time limit for some. And my question is, what about staff? Like, to me, this business should have no employees. Like, is that a doable thing if council so wishes?
That is completely under your purview, yeah. If you want to limit, put limits on business hours, parking, number of staff, anything like that. If this fell under the category of a home industry, I believe you're allowed to have 2 staff
I think
that
so.
don't live on the property.
Right.
So yeah, you're welcome to do that as well.
Okay, Councillor Sutherland, did you find what you were looking
No.
for? No? Okay.
I read it when I was going over the agenda before, but earlier today, it had something to do with the recreational vehicles would not be worked on at that property, they would be stored somewhere else. I was just gonna ask the
Stored in
question.
the same property, 770.
Okay, I'm going to ask if the applicant is in the audience this evening. Mr. Gallant, are you in the audience this evening? Okay, what is the wish of council? Do you want to proceed, or do you want to put some conditions on the application?
I would like conditions.
You would like conditions, and what is
For
it
the
that you're
neighborhood.
thinking of, Councillor Strain?
I would like a timeline put on.
That
I
it
think
be
we-
reviewed in such a time? or-
Yes. I don't know whether we go 1 year, 2 year, but I just look at it that there's the surrounding area, that there is development going on and there are close neighbors, so I would like a timeline put on that, so we don't have any complaints and everything, and then we can come back for another conditional use.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Do we have some wording?
Over here.
Oh, sorry, Scott, go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Just wondering if we shouldn't somehow limit the amount of parking of vehicles being worked on? Just so we don't end up with 30, 40, 50 vehicles sitting
Yeah.
there.
So what would the suggestion be?
So it's a fairly large lot. 10? 10 outside?
good.
Okay, we'll just take a minute and let administration make those amendments to the resolution. I don't have anybody else on my list here, but is there anybody in the audience who wishes to speak on conditional use 40 of 2023? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Madam Mayor, were we also going to put your suggestion in regards to employees?
We could put it in there.
I think we lay the parameter now.
Right, right, that there be no additional employees.
I don't know, it's pretty, you'd have to work with somebody to be safe. I think it's, you need
Oh,
at
two.
least one or two employees or somebody to work with, because I mean, health and safety, in case something happens or fell on somebody or
No
something.
more than 2 plus the owner, so 3 in total.
I think that's fair. I think that's like the other,
Well,
Go ahead, Councillor Bazarowicz.
Two outside, but you're also allowed your family.
Right.
yeah, just to be, make it fair.
just that this category doesn't really have any stipulations, so.
Go ahead, Derek.
Madam Mayor, under the home industries, the wording is, may include up to a maximum of 2 employees who do not reside on the property. Is that kind of capturing it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what we'll do is, we will fix the resolution later.
Okay, so if council is ready to deal with this application, I will ask for a resolution to come out of the conditional use board, please.
Resolve the public hearing for conditional use 40/2023 be closed and the regular session of the council be convened.
Can I have a move, please? Councillor Strang, second Councillor Bazarowicz. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. If council is ready to deal with this application, I will ask Heather to please read the resolution for conditional use number 40 of 2023.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 418100, a property legally described as Lot 5, Plan 2461, located at 77018 Mill Road, had made application for conditional use 40/2023 in order to allow for recreational and boating or business on the subject property. Therefore, be it resolved, conditional use application number 40/2023 be approved with the following conditions. Conditional use approval be limited to what is proposed within this application. Any changes in use or expansion will require a new conditional use approval. Applicant owner obtains all required permits and approvals, including but not limited to those from the Redwood Planning District and the RMC commence. The application be reviewed in 2 years. With that,
Was it 2?
went to 2, so.
2 years? 2's fine. Go ahead, Derek.
Just for council's consideration, if you say to be reviewed in 2 years,
So we say renewed?
so you cannot renew it. They would have to come back for a new application, and if you say to be reviewed, you've seen this at other municipalities, all that means is that the conditional use still stands, but you're having to look at it. But you can't reject it. So what we have suggested is, to councils is that you use the wording, the conditional use will expire in, and then you give however, if it's 2 years, then the conditional use will expire in 2 years from the date of this approval.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Horvath.
So in 2 years, this person would have to reapply,
Yes,
so you have to pay another fee again?
and have a new public hearing.
I don't like that.
I don't, that's,
I like the review, but not the.
how many times can you charge them?
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So, if it was reviewed and council didn't like what was happening, it can be revoked?
No. You can, council can only revoke an approval if they are not adhering to your conditions of approval.
That's what the review's for.
But if you're reviewing it, and you find that there are other problems arising, that aren't listed here, then there's nothing you can do about it. So right now, if you go forward and you find out they're gonna have more than 10 recreational vehicles, or they're gonna have more than 2 employees that aren't living on the property, those are grounds for revoking it. If you find there is some other nuisance issues that are happening that you don't like, there's no grounds for revoking it. That's why many of our other councils
What
have
they
said
can
it
correct.
expires.
Go ahead, Counselor Spicer.
So, given your concern, my suggestion would be is we would make a longer time limit and have it expire.
We could, or my thought on it is, if the RRPD or the municipality received complaints and it has to be investigated by our bylaw officer, does that come into play or no?
Only if you make it as a condition that there are,
You ever any violations of any bylaws?
yeah. But even there, I'm not sure exactly how you would enforce that, because if I were a property owner, I would be saying, well, you're just inviting somebody to make a complaint against me, which might be malicious.
We have
which
a,
is the grounds.
like, a really recent, for the last year or two, complaint about a conditional use.
Right.
That is a conditional use, and we haven't been able to do any, take the residents' concerns, because it is conditionally
If-
so.
If I may.
Go ahead.
Madam Mayor, what I have seen is some of our other councils will say, this will expire in 3 or 5 years, something like that. A new application is required, but it also requires a new public hearing. So if there are problems arising in the neighborhood, the neighbors then get another chance to come out and say, hey, we want to bring this to your attention. And then you get to weigh in all of that if you're going to approve a new application, so.
How much is the fee? Sorry,
That's okay.
how much is the fee?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's about $500.
$500.
I'm guessing.
What is the fee? Okay. Kayla's just looking up, she has the application in front of her.
Oh, sorry, 735.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I did that.
So in 5 years, it'll be 1,000.
So how many years did we say that it would be reviewed in?
2.
2. Do we want to extend that by another year?
Expire.
Expiring in 3.
3, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
The applicant has to, like I say, we have to go through this over,
Yes, in 3 years.
it's kind of a, I'm thinking more like 5.
Yeah, I think so.
What is the wish?
I'm okay, I agree with Councilor Sutherland, I'm okay with 5. Then that way it's only,
We used to set 5 for,
Mobile homes or
granny
secondary?
seats. or
Granny
whatever.
suites, yeah.
So, yeah, I got no problem with 5.
Council's 5. I guess we will make it that it be reviewed in 5 years then.
Expire in 5 years.
Expire in 5 years.
Conditionally, yeah. You'll send us the proper wording for that. Okay. Just so we have it absolutely correct. That the
Expire in 5.
expires in 5 years, that the property is limited to 10 recreational vehicle storage on the premises,
Outdoor storage.
outdoor storage, and the application is limited to 2 additional employees that do not reside on the property.
Okay, and I think that is all we need there. So can I have a mover for that, please? Counselor Horvis, Counselor Sutherland seconds. Any further discussion on the conditional use 40 of 2023? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Moving on to 15.7, conditional use number 43 of 2023. If we could move into variation board, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for conditional use 43, 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, second Counselor Horbus. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And Derek, if you can walk us through conditional use 43 of 2023.
Of course, thank you, Mayor. This is a conditional use on St. Peter's Road. It's to allow a garden suite in the 840 agriculture limited zone. Here's the subject property. It's one of the long-standing old river lots. And here's the applicant's site plan showing the existing house and garage and the proposed shed that they want to, I'll use shed probably there close, that they want to make into a garden suite. This actually did come our way from by the law enforcement issue of moving this building into the property without any building permits. But they're looking to convert this building into a garden suite. It's about 50 by 16 feet. So there's just a little photo showing you, it's, when I say shed, it's a pretty scoop of shed there. That's what we're talking about. And the applicant is looking to have this garden suite for their aging father. They have a multi-generational home and they want to be able to be on the property and take care of family, as we've seen in the past. The municipality is requiring operating permits. There were no other comments from any agencies or the municipality. Should council wish to approve this, there are just a couple of conditions, pretty standard as we always have. The conditional use is limited to what's being proposed in the application. Any changes would have to come back to council, and the applicant is required to obtain all required permits from our office as well as the municipality. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the planner from members of council? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So I'm assuming that they would have to meet the code for habitation in this shed.
You betcha.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for the planner? Is the applicant in the audience this evening? Do you have anything that you want to add to the application at this point?
I don't think so.
Just kind of have a look here. I didn't have anything new. Is council ready to deal with this application? I should ask before I move forward, is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application? Doesn't appear to be, so I will ask for a resolution to move out of the conditional use board.
Resolve the public hearing for conditional use 43, 2023 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowitz, second, please. Councillor Spicer, discussion. Call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. If council is ready to deal with this application, I will ask Heather to read our resolution for us.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll number 409500, a property legally described as River Lot 206, Plat 5495, and located at 80051 St. Peter's Road, had made application for conditional use 43, 2023 in order to allow a garden suite on the subject property. Therefore, be it resolved, conditional use application number 43, 2023 be approved with the following conditions. 1, this conditional use approval is limited to what was proposed within this application. Any changes in use may require a new conditional use approval. 2, applicant owner obtains all permits from the Red River Planning District and the municipality.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second. Councillor Horbus. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. So you can go and get your permits and anything else that you need to keep the mobile there. Okay, moving on to conditional use number 1 of 2024. If please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for conditional use 1/2024.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Hoyler, second. Councillor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And Derek, if you can walk us through this application, please.
Of course, the applicant's proposing to do a home industry on the property, which is on Van Horn Road. Specifically, they want to do a automobile tire repair type of a business. So here's the subject property. It's just under 4 acres, I believe, and has a home and existing accessory buildings. It's a little bit of a site plan that the applicant provided us. They're proposing to do a automobile tire service type of a center, and it's going to be run out of the 1,400 square foot accessory building that's on the property. Proposing Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 types of hours, and they will have a couple of employees, one who lives off the property, and they probably speak to this more, but they might hire a third if necessary. Should council wish to approve this, there are just a couple of conditions similar to the last ones. That is limited to what's being proposed, so any changes would require a new conditional use application. That includes intensifying the use, like putting it into a bigger building, as well as obtain all required permits from our office as well as from the municipality. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner on this application? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands go up, so I will ask if the, oh, go ahead, Scott, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here. So we've dealt with the staff. Parking, it talks about there can be additional parking requirements in the rear yard, but not in the front or side yard. But it doesn't limit them. Am I correct?
We're talking about the zoning bylaw? Yeah. So outdoor storage, which could be parking or storage, what have you, is to be behind the building.
There's
Behind
no-
the front wall of the building, I'm sorry, I should say, so it could be.
So there's no limit of, I guess, other than size of building.
So once again, if council wants to add a limitation of what can be stored outside, or the area, or fencing or screening, or the number of people, that kind of thing, you're more than welcome to do that.
Anybody else have questions to the planner? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Not to the planner, but just to council, I think we should put very similar conditions as we did with the previous.
Yeah, and we can get the wording there, but right now I'm going to ask if the applicant is in the audience this evening. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to your application at this point in time?
I don't think so, no.
No? Okay, I do have a couple of other people registered here. Paul Reister, I'm sorry, I know I didn't pronounce that property. Are you in the audience this evening? At 109 Fleming? No, okay. And Vladimir Zablotsky, are you?
I'm present, Madam Mayor.
Okay, did you have anything that you wanted to say on this application at this point in time?
I do, Madam Mayor.
Okay, just stand up if you wouldn't mind, and if you want, you can come to the podium and state your name for the record, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but we need your name for the record, please.
I'm comfortable at the podium.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Vladimir Zablotsky, and I live at 78 Van Horn Road, which is next door to the proposed site of this business. First, Madam Mayor and council members, thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity to speak this evening and express my opposition to conditional use application CU1 2024. To open up a full-service automobile repair industry business at 82 Van Horn Road in East Selkirk, Manitoba. Preparing for this meeting, I learned that this business is advertising and operating on the property since October of 2023, without first obtaining required permits and approvals from Red River Planning District and the RM of St. Clements. I learned a request for compliance letter from Red River Planning was sent in December 2023, informing the owner of the violation. The owner ignored this notice and continues to advertise and operate this illegal business to this day. A full-service automobile repair industry business on Van Horn Road is a terrible idea. It violates several requirements listed in section 3.16 of the zoning bylaw. In particular, this business violates bylaw section 3-3.16.3.18 by generating vehicle traffic that is in excess of what is characteristic for Van Horn Road. Van Horn Road is a no-through road in a development, and this business is proposed to be at the end of that road in a dead end. The business model for automotive repair industry is to generate profits from quick turnover of vehicles in for service. This profit motive and 2 mechanics with an option of 3rd employee working full-time, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. from 2 full service bays will exponentially increase vehicle traffic on Van Horn Road. The location, I have a map of the property, if I may share, Madam Mayor.
Yes, you can. Just pass it if you want to the counselor, and then we can pass it around the table unless you have
I have a few copies.
for, yeah. Derek, would you just mind grabbing a couple there, please?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
I marked with an X of the proposed location of the business. So the location of this business is at the end of a no-through road in a development. This means that every vehicle traveling to the property must travel the entire length of the road, and again travel the entire length of the road when needed. I work from home and have front row seat to the traffic flow on Van Horn Road during the day. Prior to this business, there was very little traffic on the road, primarily consisting of residents and their visitors. Since the business started to operate, I witnessed a tremendous change in vehicle traffic. There's regular flow of customer vehicles to and from the property, parts delivery service vehicles speeding to and from their property multiple times a day, tow trucks delivering vehicles for service. The delivery and pickup of vehicles continues into the evening and on weekends. Neighborhood children and residents use this road. With this new traffic pattern on Van Horn Road, we are concerned for the safety of our children. This business violates bylaw section 3.16.3.12. The storage area shall be fenced or screened from public view. Storage of vehicles is a characteristic of automotive repair industry business. This property is not fenced. I have seen increase in the inventory of vehicles on the property since the business started to operate. Most of these vehicles have not moved since fall of last year. There are automotive parts scattered on the property and a growing pile of used vehicle tires in plain view from the neighboring properties. Residents at Van Horn Road take pride in keeping their properties neat and tidy. If this collection of vehicles and vehicle parts continues to grow on the property, it will violate unsightly properties bylaw number 11-2012. This business violates bylaw section 3.16.3.19, which states, the home industry shall have all outdoor lighting located and arranged on the property so that no rays of light are directed at any adjacent property. If I can get if I can get you to pull out the site map, proposed site map for me, please, of the, you can zoom in, please, the other one? No, the other one. Yeah, if you can zoom in, is there a way to zoom in? A little bit more? Yes, right there, that's good. Thank you. As you can see on the location map, the accessory building where this business is operating from is very close to our home. In fact, the distance between the accessory building and our home, wall to wall, is only 94 feet. The light from this building is on all night, every night, 7 days a week. It falls on our property and shines inside our master bedroom. We cannot stress this enough. This close distance of the accessory building to our home is of great concern to us. The noise generated from this business and exhaust fumes from vehicles, especially diesel-powered trucks, in for service, will carry on onto our property. This will be detrimental to the health and well-being of my family, of our family. Having a full-service automobile repair business 36, and I repeat, 36 feet from our property line will be catastrophic to the value of our home. This business is not compatible with the general nature of our neighborhood. It does not fit into the development plan. Van Horn Road is an affluent area of St. Clements, affluent development of St. Clements. 17 homes sharing this calm and quiet, no-through road for exclusive access to their properties. Children feel safe to ride their bicycles on the road, and residents use the road for walking their dogs and running. Section 3.7 of conditional use bylaw states, when approving a conditional use, council is to secure objectives of the zoning bylaw and development agreement. A full-service automobile repair industry business at the end of no-through road does not fit into development agreement for Van Horn Road. This business is a better fit in a commercial zone, like on Main Street, than on our beloved Van Horn Road. Allowing this business to continue their illegal operation will be catastrophic. This will forever change the character of our neighborhood and depress real estate values on Van Horn Road. Please reject this conditional use application. Help us protect the rural character of our neighborhood for the safe use of its residents. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
And if I can also ask Madam Mayor for your permission to submit this letter, but I just
Yes, we can take
to the
it.
council for permanent record from
Yeah.
this meeting.
Yeah, you can just give it to Derek and we will get it from Derek if you have the extra copy there.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Okay, the normal process would be and is going to be if the applicant now has anything that they wish to add to their application, now would be your opportunity to do that.
Are you saying that I can explain things or what he's?
Yeah, you can explain a little bit, but I think that, you know, you're gonna try and make your case as to why this should be approved.
I'm Pamela Cummick. I am requesting the conditional use permit. And I received the information from the planning board about all the conditions. I looked it over and I believe that I am in compliance. And I do understand Vlad is closer to us. We moved into the property in 21, in the middle of 21. When we first moved in, we had several vehicles come and go from the property saying that they were looking for the previous owner because it was created as a shop. It was ran as a shop before we even moved into the property. As far as I thought, it was a shop. It was, the property was laid out to be a shop. In the middle of 23, before we actually started, we had contacted the RM and we asked, okay, this is what our plans are. What do I need to do going forward? And I was told on the phone that, oh, the location had a shop to begin with. You're good to go. You don't need anything. And I asked, okay, well, I'll continue. I'll just continue going forward with creating a shop. When I found out that I was in violation of the permits, I didn't ignore it. The letter that I received stated that as long as I continue and I email and I start the permits, I can continue doing business. So that's what I did. I went and I got my title within the 30-day time frame as the planning board requested, and I got all the information that they required within that time frame. So as soon as I found out that I was in violation, I started to make the proper steps to request the conditional use permit. As for parking on the location, on the property, we do have vehicles in our backyard, and that's vehicles that have come to the shop that we are currently working on. The thing is we do have several vehicles in our backyard, but most of them are ours. We like toys, we quad, we snowmobile, we have a mud truck, we have a dump trailer, that's our own 1-ton truck. So a lot of the vehicles that Vlad is indicating, those are actually our own vehicles. Right now, I think we have 4 or 5 vehicles that we're currently working on that are in the back of the property behind the building. We don't have anything sitting in front of the building as of right now, because we don't keep anything in the front. The pedestrian and vehicle traffic hasn't increased. Like I said, we do have deliveries every day, but so did the previous shop that was there. Nothing changed. We have a maximum of 3 to 4 vehicles, I'd say every 2 days, because we don't have a quick turnaround. It's not very quick. A lot of the stuff that we're doing is tires, a little bit of mechanic work, but it's not, we're not having 8, 10, 12, 15 vehicles coming down the road a day. It's not that. There's children in our area. I have 4 of them that are living on the property. I work from home too, and I don't see Speeding up and down, I don't personally, but I mean, the PCs that I can't comment on that. I haven't gone through and said, yes, this is what, that I haven't violated, or that I have violated. Anything that is taken out of a vehicle is recycled. If we have any tires on the property, they are recycled through the tire stewardship program. And we keep them behind so no one can see them, and then they get recycled. So yes, we do have a truck come in, maybe once a month, come in, back into our property, grab the tires during business hours between 8 and 5, and then they leave right away. For oil changes, our oil is, as soon as the barrels are full, they are recycled. And correct me who it is?
Recycle West.
Recycle West comes and picks them up. And that's once a month. We don't do a lot. So it's just it's a small shop. We don't have quite the amount of business. The goal is to start on our property, and if it grows, we do want to look at a commercial space outside of the development. But because we are just a small home business, we just thought the property's there, the shop is there, it could be used for this particular purpose, and if it gets busy enough and we are successful with it, we do want to move out and create another shop off-site. And then we would be closing down the one at home. So I do apologize. I guess I was ignorant in the fact that I wasn't aware of the proper permit that had to be filed. I am a new business owner. As soon as I received the planning board letter, I contacted them right away and I filed for the correct permits.
Okay, any questions to the applicant from members of council? Go ahead, Councillor Bazarowicz.
How big, excuse me, how big is your property?
It's 3.9 acres,
And how big is the shop?
1,400 square feet.
Thank you.
And I have one question. You said if you're successful, you would move. What are you looking for as a time frame to measure whether you're successful or not?
I would say in 5 years.
Any other questions from members of council?
Do you know what business was there before?
It was an automotive shop.
It was, eh?
Yeah, and this is a funny story. I say funny because it was kind of unbelievable. When I found out that we needed to file for this permit, and I contacted the Red River Planning District, I got an email back saying that there was no record of the shop on the site. And I said, well, that doesn't make sense because it's been here since 2015. And then I got the response, okay, it's not set up for business use, it's only been set up for personal use in the past. I said, okay, but how? Because a shop's been ran out of this location since, I believe it was 2016, 2017. He had deliveries from Histon from Napa, so he had a business going. We had, I have to say, about 30 vehicles in the first week that we lived there. Came to my door and said, where's such and such? He was working on our vehicles. Where did he move to? He didn't tell anyone. So we were getting them, and everyone said, well, I hope you open up a business because we want to continue the shop. We want to continue coming to this place. So,
Did you buy it from that person who had the shop before?
yes.
And they built down the road.
You didn't know that, or what?
Didn't know, sorry?
You didn't know when you came to see the place that he was running a business on?
We
Oh,
did.
yeah, we
Yeah, we
did.
did.
Yeah, he had hoists and everything in the shop, and then he built down the road and
Yeah.
continued.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we were so confused,
Yeah.
because it's been ran as a shop for years.
For years. So I mean, in my eyes, the traffic hasn't changed. It's been the same. So how do we justify that it's not as safe as it was before when it was still an automotive shop before we purchased the property? I don't know what I'm doing differently than he did. I'm taking the right avenues and making sure that all of the oil and all those liquids are recycled. Tires and that aren't on the property very long, we get them recycled. We're keeping it clean. We don't have car parts all over the place. I mean, on the side of our building, we're adjacent to Vlad's, it's our own lawnmowers, a ladder rack, like it's our own personal property stuff. So I don't know what that's about. We don't have everything lying around. A lot of the stuff that's beside the shop is our own personal items.
Okay, anything else from council? Okay, thank you for clarifying some of those points, and I'm going to just ask once more. I know that there's still quite a few people in the audience, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. So is there anyone else who wishes to speak on this application?
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
may I add one comment?
yes, you
Because I
can.
think it is important that the council understands. We bought this property in 2020 when we were buying this property. The previous owner, may he rest in peace, he passed away from COVID, Edward. He had his house for sale as well at the same time. There was no, when we looked at the property, it was a clean property, there was no storage of vehicles, and him and his son were there, but the property was for sale when we bought our property. Stephen and Pam, they bought the property the summer after we bought our house. So I don't have, they have the history of that shop, shop was being there for a long time. All I know and can comment on honestly is what I've seen since October of last year when the business started to ramp up. My concern is as they do become successful, as they do become noticed in the community, the volume of traffic, the volume of will increase even more than it is today. Waiting 5 years for them to become successful and putting the residents is not fair. We are so close to them. They're good neighbors. They're good neighbors. We get along. It's just that the shop is too close to our property, and the area is not right for it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, if there's no one else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application, I'm going to ask for a resolution, if there's nothing else from council, to come out of the the conditional use board, please. I think there are some on there already. Go ahead, Heather. Yeah.
Resolve the public hearing for conditional use 1/2024 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, Councillor Bezarowitz seconds. Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question.
Sandra?
Oh, sorry, Sandra.
Sorry about that. Were we going to put any restrictions on?
I think some restrictions have been put on already, if I remember correctly. There is the outdoor storage limit of 10 vehicles and limit up to 2 additional employees not residing on the property. Was there anything else that council was wishing to put on there? And it says that the conditional use application will expire in 5 years.
I think one of the things that we have to look at too, with it, just what they experienced, when we put a conditional use, maybe to brand it to that person's conditional use and that's it, so it doesn't stay with the property. Like if there was one before, I don't know, but it
Right.
doesn't sound like maybe there was anything there
Yeah.
either too with the
Right.
new purchase, but.
Well, this will expire in 5 years anyway,
Yeah.
so it won't go with the property.
But if their business becomes very fruitful, they may want to leave in 3 years.
Well, they probably still live there, they just have a shop someplace.
Well, they would, yeah, they wouldn't have the business there, but they may still live there, you're right. So, go ahead, Counselor Sutherland.
Could I ask a question of the first
You
member?
can ask a question.
In your mind, is there anything that you could come together, both of you, to make this work, other than you don't want to see it? Do you have any suggestions that might make it more suitable for yourself and your family living? I'm just kind of curious if there's anything that you could suggest with them still running their business. Just curious.
Like a fence or trees
I'm
or
just
something?
wondering if there's anything that, yeah.
Or maybe they don't need the 5 years, maybe they only have 2 or something, and then maybe,
You say-
I know the
you
other
say
one
there-
we gave 5, but, or 3, we gave 3 the other one? 5,
I mean,
well, this is 3?
your comment that you get along with them, they're good neighbors.
They are.
So I'm just wondering if some kind of middle ground here we could.
You know what, honestly, it's just, the property is too close. Like, the property is really close, like, if I sit on my deck, I'm gonna hear the noise from this business. The property is 36 feet, the building itself is 36 feet from the property line. You know, I'm flexible, but I mean, that's going to impact our family. Imagine living in a house where you have a business like this, you know what, 36 minus, you know what, 50 some feet, 60 feet away from your deck, from your house, going 8 till 5 p.m. I want to be flexible, but the property is just too close to have this kind of business.
I think everybody has to earn a living though, too. I mean, we can't take somebody's livelihood away from them, you know?
But you have to protect the well-being, as the bylaw states, you have to protect the well-being and health of the residents in the area. I'm that resident, my family are those residents. Right? If somebody's well-being, making a living, affects somebody else's health and well-being and mental wellness, then I don't think that should supersede our well-being.
Yeah, I add.
Okay, that's gonna be the last comment. I'd like to close this off because we still have a number of applications that we have to deal with this evening, so I'll let you have the last comment.
I understand, Bob, where you're coming from, I do. But at the same time, if we were in a smaller community and your house was, 50 feet wide, you'd be beside something that could potentially be loud. The shop was there prior to you purchasing in 2020, and it was ran as a shop. So I don't know what other expectations we can do for you to make this better. We're following the guidelines. We're not working all hours of the night. It's between business hours. And like Councillor said, we're trying to make a living.
Okay, anybody else on council? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
I don't know, maybe change the conditional use, the years? Just to compromise, something that,
So instead, it does say 5, expire in 5, expire in 3, is what you're
Sure.
maybe suggesting.
I have to fit with that. I'd also,
Go ahead, Councillor Vazerovich.
privacy fence or hedge.
And that would be on the applicant's property we're talking.
Yes.
Derek, is there anything like that that could be a requirement?
Absolutely, you can put that in as a requirement. If there's gonna be outdoor storage, that has to be fenced, but if, council thinks that an additional fence along the property line, and some tree planting or something, whatever you want, that would help, mitigate any noise or view or something like that, absolutely you can put that in.
Maybe not the whole property line, but just the section where that would affect the light in the bedroom or whatever.
You could say something like, condition to install a fence, and, well, I'll let you guys choose what you want, but along the, west property line, we can say from the front of, from the road extending, and you can pick so many feet past the building or something like that, if that kind of makes sense. Say 20 feet or 50 feet, something like that. There is a row of trees and, along part of it, so,
There is a fence and trees.
oh, there's a fence and trees.
Yeah.
Madam Mayor?
Okay, I have to close this off, and I can't, like, we have to make a decision on this, and I know, where is the fence? Because that wasn't brought up, and you cannot see it on any of the areas.
I built the fence myself. There is a fence.
But it's on your property?
It's on my property. It's very important. I'm sorry it's taking your time, but
That's
please listen to
okay,
me.
yeah,
You brought up the area of a fence.
right,
Last June, last summer, I approached the owners of this property and I said, Stephen, I want to build a fence. Could you help me? It's going to cost me about $10,000. He says, no, we don't like the fences, we like the open country space. So my wife and I, we spent $8,000 on building a fence along that, just in front of that driveway, not the back. Spent $8,000 of our own money and put the fence up there. And Steve and Pam did not contribute a penny to it. They didn't even help us nail a single board onto that fence.
but it's on your property.
It's on my property,
Okay,
but my cost. They didn't do anything on it.
but looking at the aerial photo, I brought it up on my computer here and blown it up, and it appears that there's a line of trees on your property.
That's on their property.
Am I looking at the wrong, okay, my dotted line is on the other side of the trees. Yeah,
There's some trees there already.
The trees are sparse trees. They don't do a whole lot in terms of sound or light.
right,
But there is a fence. We built it at our own cost.
okay. Okay, is council ready to deal with
Yeah.
this?
Yes.
Okay, then I will ask for a resolution to come out of the conditional use board. I believe that's been done.
We closed out of the hearing, we just need, roll call, please, because we gotta move it sector.
To close the
We've
hearing.
already done that.
Okay,
Everybody needs to be okay with closing
Okay, I
it.
have a mover and a seconder for the closing of the public hearing, so I'll call a question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And if council wishes to proceed with this one, I will ask for the resolution to move it forward, please.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 311988, a property legally described as lot 9, plan 50011 and located at 82 Van Horn Road, had made application for conditional use 1/2024 in order to allow home industry use auto repairs on the subject property in the AR agriculture restricted zone. Therefore, be it resolved, conditional use number 1/2024 be approved with the following conditions. 1, this conditional use is limited to what is proposed within this application. Any further changes in use additions or expansion of this use may require a new conditional use application. 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits and approvals from the River Planning District and RMA St. Clements. Number 3, this conditional use will expire in 3 years and a new application approval will be required. 4, limited to 10 outdoor vehicle storage premises. And number 5, limited to 2 additional employees not residing on the property. Oh, sorry, and there's a number 6, I need to scroll down. Applicant
Okay.
owner to install a fence along west perimeter of the property to extend 20 feet beyond the length of the building to the north and south.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Sutherland, second, Counselor Horvis. Go ahead, Counselor Sutherland.
Well, there is a fence there already. On the third, or the last condition, I thought, there already is a fence.
It says to extend it.
Beyond the length of the building, to the north
It
and
doesn't
south.
go that far, okay, sorry.
So would this just carry on for, if the fence ended here, would it just be another 20 feet?
But it'll have to have a jog in it and have it on his property, right?
Right,
Yeah.
because yes, it's on one property and now we're asking for the applicant to do a fence on their property, so.
Just to continue, okay, fine.
Right.
20 feet from the
Yeah.
building.
Okay, I have a
Sorry.
mover, I have a seconder. Any other questions from council? Hearing and seeing none, go ahead, Councilor
I don't
Passarelli.
know if it's possible, but one of the concerns was lighting. Is there any way we could restrict the lighting, like hours,
On the
turn it down?
Like it was on the shop when we bought it, like we didn't do anything, I just flipped the
Can you shut
switch.
it off?
Yeah, but then the front of our shop is exposed, like the cameras can't see anything. It's just like a shop light. So, and it was there and it was on. It's just
Well, I
a-
know, but I mean, everybody's just trying to get along here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shut
I
the
can
light off.
even just change it so it's not shining that way, just down the driveway.
Perfect.
Okay, I can do that.
Make some
Perfect.
considerations.
Yep, I can do it.
Okay, I have a mover, I have a seconder, and I'm gonna call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is defeated, 3-2. Okay, and I guess Counselor Spicer, myself, and Counselor Strang voted against it, and Counselor Horvis and it's a tie, so it's automatically lost, so, sorry about that.
You threw me for a loop on the 3-2.
That's okay.
You disappeared for a second.
Okay, I would like to move on, and we are still on planning files, and I'm just, for those in the audience, the last 4 applications we have here, they're subdivisions and they're variations. The subdivisions do not require a public hearing because most of them are like one-lot splits. But because of maybe the property that you're creating is not wide enough or not the correct acreage, we need the variations for those things. So it's a little bit different than a normal subdivision where you have the subdivision that has a public hearing and then the variations. These don't need, the subdivisions don't need public hearings because they're all splits and they're all fronting on a municipal road. So they don't need the public hearing for the subdivision. So before we start, I thought I better just maybe clarify that a little bit because it is a little bit different than we normally have our public hearings. So we're going to start with planning file, where are we? S233033, and that is on Road 43 East, and we will hear the report on the subdivision first. We will make the decision on the subdivision, and then we will move into the variation board. So, Mr. Planner, if you want to go ahead with file number S233033.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a split on Road 43 East. It's, the subject property is an agricultural zone, and, oops. Here we go. There we go, you can see it's a quarter section there, and the applicant is looking to split off the existing homestead that you can see in the northwest corner. Here's the subject, or the subdivision application map, where you can see they want to subdivide off the portion that has the barn and the house and some outbuildings and that sort of thing, and a little bit of the trees kind of area. So there'll be 2 lots. One is going to be just over 4 acres and 300 feet in width, and the other one is going to be 155 acres in size. Because the minimum lot size is 80 acres, lot number 1, the homestead severance will need a variance, which is coming up next. That being said, generally subdivisions of farmland are kind of a no-go in the master plan. However, you are allowed to subdivide off a home site so long as you have at least 80 acres of the original property, and that is the case here. So therefore, we are recommending approval, subject to just a few conditions, 3 conditions. Do you want me to paraphrase them, Madam Mayor?
Sure, go right ahead.
Sure, okay. So the 3 conditions are that the applicant owner submits confirmation from the municipality that all taxes have been paid, applicable development fees have been paid, and provide a digital copy of the plan to the municipality. The applicant is going to have to get an easement with Manitoba Hydro, and then the 3rd one is to get a variance for that undersized lot. Pretty standard conditions there. That's all I have, Madam Mayor. If you have any questions.
Okay, anybody have any questions of the planner on this one? Okay, and as this is not a public hearing, I will ask if council's ready to deal with it. I will ask for the resolution for the subdivision, please.
Do we have to do the variation first?
No.
Or we do the subdivision? No? Okay. Resolve, I couldn't remember. Resolve that council approve the said application subject to the following conditions. 1, applicant owners submit confirmation in writing from the chief administrative officer of the municipality that taxes on the land be subdivided for the current year, plus any arrears have been paid. Required applicable fees be paid as per bylaw 8, 2023. Provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision to the RMC commence. 2, applicant owner submits written confirmation to our PED from Manitoba Hydro that an easement agreement has been entered into with the department with respect to the existing and or future facilities associated with the subdivision, and a plan of easement as required by the Real Property Act has been provided. 3, applicant owner obtains all required variances from RRPD.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, second. Councillor Strang. Any further discussion on this application? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, now I will ask for a resolution to move us into the variation board, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation 142, 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, Councillor Horvath, seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And Mr. Planner, if I could get you to walk through variation 142 of 2023, please.
Of course. So this is related to the subdivision you just dealt with, and it's to vary the lot size of that farm site from 80 acres down to 4.35 acres in size. Once again, there's the subdivision layouts showing the property, just the air photo there. We're recommending that this can be approved, subject to the standard conditions that you have on there. And this would check off the condition number 3 of the subdivision. I should have noted as well at the last application that this was circulated to Manitoba Agriculture. They have no objection to it. So, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner on this application? Okay, is the applicant in the audience this evening? Mr. Otto, do you have anything you want to add to your application? Nothing at this point in time? Okay. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application? I'm not seeing any hands be raised, so I will ask for a resolution to move out of the condition or variation board, and if council wishes to deal with this one, we'll move it forward.
Resolve the public hearing for variation 142-2023 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second. Councillor Bazarowicz. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, if we could have the resolution now for the variation, please.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 669400 legally described as Northwest 816 East and located at 91151 Road 43 East has made application for variation order number 142-2023 from site area 80 acres to site area proposed lot 4.35 acres. The purpose is to reduce the minimum site area for the proposed lot within the A80 agricultural general zone. The requested variance will be part of the conditions within the proposed subdivision application S23-3033. Therefore, be it resolved, variation 142-2023 be approved with the following conditions. 1, that the variance be limited to what is being proposed in this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second. Councillor Orbis. Any further discussion on this application? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so if we're on the next file, it is a subdivision at 674 Old Henderson Highway. And again, the subdivision does not need a public hearing, so I will ask the planner to please walk us through that file.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a subdivision on Old Henderson Highway. It's a suburban residential zone. Here's the subject property. There's a funny shape there, not the traditional square. And here is the subdivision application map showing the 2 new properties. Each property will be, about just over 20,000 square feet in size, and over 100 feet for the one lot and 75 feet for the other. The minimum lot's width is 100 feet. That's required in your zoning bylaw, so that's why the variance is coming up next for that proposed lot 1 there. This does adhere to the development plan and the zoning bylaw generally, and therefore we're recommending approval subject to. There's actually 9 conditions here. I'll just run through them for council. The taxes have been paid, applicable fees to the municipality have been paid. Plan of subdivision is provided to the municipality. Drainage plan be prepared and submitted to the municipality for review and approval. The applicant in order to remove or alter the existing approaches currently on the property line. Mandatory connection to municipal water and wastewater systems will be required. Enter into a development agreement dealing with drainage works, removal of existing approaches or joint access for the proposed and existing lots, construction of water, wastewater services, obtain a variance for proposed lot 1, that's for that lot width, and that the owner remove the abandoned mobile home and shed, as that's what's stated on the subdivision application. I think it's even kind of straddling that property line there. So that's just a practical thing. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the planner? Okay, and again, as this is not a public hearing, if council is ready to deal with it, I will ask for the resolution to come forward, but I do have one question. I noticed that the lot line is not straight. I guess I could bring it up at the variation, but is there any reason why it's kind of at not a very big angle, but it's not straight east-west?
I don't know. I know that it terminates on the one side where that shared access is.
Right.
If council wants to, you can make them alter this plan to make it perpendicular to the Henderson Highway lot line.
Well, I don't
We
know.
have had that in other municipalities, where council has required that, but I will say it's probably more important on very small lots. I'm thinking like West St. Paul, where we have 40-foot wide lots, and then how are you gonna center a house on a 40, do you do it on an angle or what have you? On a
Right.
property here where you have 100 feet wide and 75 feet wide.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's completely necessary. From some regard, sometimes future property owners just assume it's gonna be perpendicular, and you might get some squabbles about where's the line and where's the fence on whose property, so you can require that if you want.
Well, no, I was just curious more than anything.
Oh,
Kind
sure.
of like, how come it's not a straight line, like at a 90-degree angle? So, and the other thing is, and I know that this is not really to do with the subdivision either, I think all council knows that there is a drainage ditch there. The water never gets over that property line, but they should be made aware that there is that drainage ditch there.
I think that's gonna be your development agreement.
Okay, perfect.
So across the road, is that the one that splits through that on an angle?
It's right across, almost right across from Strathcona, just a little to the south of where that ditch is, that goes to the track and then out to the fire hall. So, yeah, there's an older mobile home on the property presently, but I understand that the property has sold, so this is the new owner doing this part of it. If council's ready to deal with it, I'm gonna ask Heather to read the resolution for the subdivision.
Subdivision application number S 23-3035, proposal of 1009816. Manitoba Limited to subdivide lot 44, plan 13052. I'm not gonna read the whole legal description, it's all long. Subject to the reservations and contained in the grant from the Crown in River Lot 71 to 76, Church of St. Clements. Resolved that council approve the said application subject to the following conditions. Applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the CAO of the municipality that taxes on the lands to be subdivided for the current years and any arrears have been paid. Required applicable fees be paid as per bylaw 8/2023. Provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision to the Arm of St. Clements. A drainage plan be prepared and submitted to the Arm of St. Clements for review and acceptance as per the servicing standards of the municipality. Applicant owner to remove or alter existing approach currently on the proposed property line. Mandatory connection to the municipal water and wastewater system of the existing and proposed lots. Developer to install curb stops and pay current utility buying costs as per bylaw 8/2023. Enter into a development agreement with the Arm of St. Clements to address items including but not limited to, if required, drainage work and or letter of credit, removal of existing approach or joint driveway, access from the proposed and existing lots, construction of water and wastewater services for the existing and proposed lots. Applicant owner obtain variance for proposed lot 1. Applicant owner remove the abandoned mobile home and shed as stated on the SAM and obtain the required permits from regular planning district.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second Councillor Borges. Any further discussion from council? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, now we're going to move on to the variation. So if I can have a resolution to move into variation board, please.
I'm just gonna write license plate.
Okay.
Am I on 3033?
You will.
I'm gonna refresh, because I like literally lost this lot on the agenda.
Okay,
All right, 14323 is the variation.
right.
Okay. Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 143/2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Sutherland, seconds. All in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to you, Derek, to go over that variation for us, please.
Question here. So this is the same property on Old Henderson Highway. And I'm just going to go straight to the subdivision application map. This is to reduce lot width from the required 100 feet down to 75.25 feet. And it's just the standard conditions that the variance is limited to what's being proposed and obtain all required permits, which actually is applicable in this case. But yeah, this would cross off that one condition of approval.
Okay, thank you for that. Questions to the planner from council? Okay, I see that this property must be in a numbered company's name, 100988816, Manitoba Limited. Is there a representative in the audience who wishes to speak on this application?
We're both here.
Okay, can you just state your name for the record, please?
Greg Hopra.
Craig
Greg Hopra.
Hopra?
Hopra.
Okay, and,
Sean Dryer.
and, sorry, I missed it?
Sean Dryer.
Okay, and have you anything more to add to your application to have that property subdivided?
I think so, no.
No? Are you the new owners of the property? Because I know it recently sold.
Yeah.
So, okay. And are either of you planning to build there, or are you going to try and get two buyers for each of the, or a buyer for each of the lots?
The plan is for resale.
Okay. Okay, just curious, because
Yeah.
I live not far from there, that's
Okay.
why I asked.
The lot line, we went over a whole bunch of different variations, but that was the best lot line so we could split the approach.
Oh, okay.
Because we didn't want to have to put a second approach in.
So you're
because
gonna have a
of the creek.
shared driveway?
Correct.
Okay. Is that gonna cause problems for us or for planning?
Doesn't matter to us.
Doesn't matter to you? I don't think it should be okay with us too. Go ahead, Kayla, please.
Public Works was what made the recommendation to alter the approach. I think their initial comments were removal,
Okay,
but I guess we could look at joint.
joint,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Go ahead, Counselor Sutherland.
Kind of thinking maybe the way you are, like they're just a shared driveway. What if there's a dispute between, does that make no difference if it's a shared driveway?
Right,
I'm just curious.
yeah, the two parties probably should have some sort of an agreement that it is a shared driveway. You know, if you end up selling both lots, there should be something in place that, you know, the guy on the north isn't gonna say to the guy on the south, well, this is my driveway, you can't use it. Like,
Right.
there should be something in place.
So if the lot line was in the middle, and we widened the driveway, they would have,
If you made it like a double driveway, but had it kind of in the middle of the lots?
yeah, that's kind of what we're going for on it.
Okay. Counselor Mazerolich?
That driveway's on Old Henderson Highway, right?
Right,
Okay, is that our road or is that highway still?
that's ours.
That's ours.
Okay,
That's ours.
Because highways, like,
You're
only allowed
One access.
one access
Right.
now when you do something.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's, Old Henderson is ours, yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask if there is anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this variation application. I'm not seeing anybody, so if council is ready to deal with it, I will ask for a resolution to come out of variation board and deal with it.
Resolve the public hearing for variation 143, 2023 be closed and the regular session of council.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, second Councillor Horbis. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And I will ask for a resolution for variation order number 143 of 23.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 43400, legally described as lot 44, plan 13052, and located at 674 Old Henderson Highway, has made application for variation order number 143, 2023, from site width 100 feet minimum to site width proposed lot 175.25 feet minimum. to reduce the minimum site width for proposed lot within the RA suburban residential zone. The requested variance will be part of the conditions within the proposed subdivision application S 23/3035. Therefore, be it resolved, variation order 143/2023 be approved with the following conditions. One, that the variance be limited to what is being proposed in this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval. Two, applicant owner obtain permits from Red River Planning District and the Armas implements if required.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Spicer, Counselor Horbus seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so we will move on now to subdivision file S 23/3036. And Derek, if you would walk us through that one, please.
Of course. This is a subdivision on Road 94 north for an A80 agricultural zone. Here's the subject property. You can see there's a transmission right away that goes through the south of the property. Heavily treaty area. Here's the subdivision application map showing where the existing dwelling and garage is located. And the applicant wants to make a new property, 1 hectare or about 2.5 acres in size along the roadway. As I noted in the first subdivision application, in agriculture areas, subdivisions generally are not allowed if it's going to be less than 80 acres, but there are some exceptions to the rules. If you are subdividing off the existing home site for a retired farmer, that's one exception to the rule. But the properties have to be at least 80 acres in size. Unfortunately, from a policy perspective, this does not adhere to those. The subject property is 76 acres in size and change, so it's not 80. But also the property that they're proposing to subdivide off is just a vacant piece. It's not an actual retirement severance as we've seen in the past. So from a policy perspective, our office has to recommend that it not be approved. That being the case, council is more than welcome to make whatever decision you want. If you do want to approve this, there are 3 conditions that are recommended here. The first one is that the applicant owner submits confirmation from the CEO that all taxes and applicable fees have been paid, as well as the visual plan of the subdivision has been provided to you. The applicant owner submits written confirmation from the environmental compliance branch that the sewer ejector system has been decommissioned, or they've obtained not a variance, they call it an exception from the minister. And 3, that the applicant owner obtained all required variances for the undersized lots. I will note that in our regular circulation to the government agencies, this was sent to agriculture, and they also note that this does not adhere to the policies. However, they also say they're not going to object to this, so if you do approve it, it sounds like they will not challenge you at the municipal board. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that, Derek. Any questions from council to the planner? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Okay, so the policy states you can have a yard site split 1, correct?
Yeah.
So the reason why from a policy perspective you don't like this is because it's not the existing yard site.
That's the rules that agriculture gave us, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if council wanted to go ahead and give approval here, that would be the only split allowed on this piece of property.
That'd be it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and my comment is, like, we know that it's not a full half section, I'm gonna call it, but if that transmission line wasn't there, the residual would comply.
Oh,
I'm thinking.
Likely,
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
You'd have a few acres there. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, our office recognizes that this is a tree area.
Yeah,
Not sure what you're farming besides acorns. But I think as I've seen council in the past, our parameters are pretty narrow that we have to follow,
Right.
but you can make those good judgment calls. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunate that the policies that are bestowed on us from the province doesn't give us a little bit of an out on situations like this. But as I noted, agriculture has said that they're not going to object should you approve it.
right, perfect. Okay, any other questions from council on the subdivision? Again, this is a subdivision and a variance, and we're dealing with the subdivision, so if council is ready, I will ask for the resolution for the subdivision.
Subdivision application number S 233036, proposal of Weaver and Thomas to subdivide northeast quarter 2416-7 DPM. Resolve that council approve the said application subject to the following conditions. One, applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the CEO of the municipality that A, taxes on the land to be subdivided for the current year, plus any arrears have been paid. Required fees to be paid as per bylaw 8, 2023. C, provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision to the RSA Mets. 2, applicant owners submit written confirmation to Red River Planning District from ECE that the sewage ejector system has been decommissioned, certificate of exemption has been obtained. Applicant order obtain variances for undersized lots.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second, please. Councillor Spicer, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, we will move into the variance, and I will ask for a resolution to move into the variation board, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 1/2024.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvis, second, Councillor Strang. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And Derek, if you can walk us through this one, please.
Of course, it's related to the subdivision that you just approved on this property here with the 2.5 acre new parcel. So as I noted, it's an A80 zone, which has an 80 acre minimum lot size, so you're varying it from 80 acres down to 2.47 acres for the new lot, and 73.72 acres for the residual. Should you wish to approve this, just a standard condition that the variance is limited to what's being proposed here, and this would cross off that third condition of the subdivision.
Great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, any questions to the planner? Okay, is the applicant in the audience this evening? I kind of thought you were there, so have you anything you want to add to your application? No? Okay, I do remember when you were here earlier, and this is kind of the route that council suggested you might try and so I guess I have a couple of other names on my sheet here. Is Patrick Thomas here?
Yeah, we're here.
Did you want to add anything to the application at this point in time? No? Okay. And Jennifer Sinclair Thomas, are you in the audience? Did you have anything you want to add? No, not at this point. Okay. I don't have any other names on my list, but I will ask if there is anybody in the audience who wishes to speak on this application this evening. Okay, I'm not seeing any hands go up, so I will ask for a resolution to come out of variation board, please.
Resolve the public hearing for variation order 1/2024 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Bazarowitz seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And if we can have the resolution for this variation, please.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 625000 legally described as Northeast 24167 and located at 41084 Road 94 North. Has made application for variation order number 1, 2024 to vary site area 80 acres minimum to a site area proposed lot 2.47 and the residual lot 73.72 acres to reduce the minimum site area for the proposed lot and the residual lot within the A80 agricultural general zone. The requested variance will be part of the conditions within the proposed subdivision application S233036. Therefore, be it resolved, variation order 1, 2024 be approved with the following conditions. 1, that the variances be limited to what is being proposed in this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Sutherland, second, please. Counselor Vazarowicz, any further discussion on this application? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, I think we are close to the end. This is our last planning item that we have this evening. So it is subdivision file S243037. And if you can walk us through the subdivision, please, Derek.
Of course, ma'am. This is a this is a subdivision on Rebec Road. It's to split the lot in half. It's one of those remnants of, I guess, river lots here where it has frontage along Rebec and Raleigh. The applicant's proposing to split this in half so that we have 2 building lots now, one on either side. Here's the subdivision application map, and note that we've worked with your office as well with the land surveyor, because, I'll just go back to the air photo. You can see in the area that the RM has taken little bits and pieces when land has been subdivided, so that a future road might be able to get pumped right through the middle of this section of land. So the municipality has required a 100-foot wide section there for future right-of-way, and that's what's reflected on this map here. The proposed lots will be 2.46 acres in size and 2.67 acres in size, and the minimum lot size is 4 acres in the AR zone. Now this is also designated as AR, which has a 4-acre minimum, but if you recall a few years back, we got the development plan changed to allow for infill development of this type of proposal on existing streets. So this can be approved, but it will need variances for those widths, or for those sizes. They don't need variances for widths because the widths are unchanged in your zoning bylaw. It doesn't require that the width is unchanged in these certain law circumstances. This has been circulated to the government agencies. There are no real cause for concern. We are recommending approval subject to 6 conditions that are in front of you. I'll just go through them quickly for you. 1, that the taxes have been paid. 2, that applicable development fees have been paid. 3, that the plan of subdivision has been provided to the municipality. 4, that the applicants to amend the plan of subdivision to dedicate a 100-foot wide municipal road right-of-way between lots 1 and 2. This is what is shown on this map here, but the actual application didn't have that. So that's why that condition's in there. But as I said, we work with the applicant and the land surveyor to sort this out. So, number 5, that the owner obtained the variances. That's for those lot sizes. And number 6, that they provide written confirmation from Hydro for an easement. So pretty standard conditions in there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions to the planner? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
I don't know if this would go to the planner or if it would go in the development plan, but one of my comments here would be, is there any restrictions we can put on with, since it's such a narrow lot, is there something that we can put on there for the front, just of the design of the house to be built to the front? Because we do have some homes on Rebec Road and they are built sideways, so then the front of the home is looking in the neighbor's yard all the time. I don't know if there's something that Have you ever had a municipality with that? I'm just thinking of the design of, so if, I don't know if these lots are just gonna be turned over and sold, or if they're actually going to be built on at this time, at the time of building that. To
Right.
put on a suitable home with just a narrow lot like that.
Yeah, I understand what you're asking for. Some municipalities in some situations through a development agreement have put in design parameters. So that is something that you can add if you want, which can relate to the orientation of the houses. You see that a lot of times in multi-lot, large subdivisions, where they want a certain look and feel of it. So that's something you can add if you wish.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor Bazarowicz.
Just a comment. I still don't understand why we're coming here for variances. We've got over 2 acres on an existing road, but I thought that whole side of that was supposed to be changed. We've never heard one that. Well, we did once, so we lost.
Well, yeah, I think what it is, it's our planning bylaws or our zoning bylaw that needs to be brought up to date.
Yeah, if you wanted to. So
Yeah.
it's sort of this remnant from the province's approval of past development plans, where they said this whole southern area of the municipality is supposed to be 4-acre lots. If you recall, about 5-6 years ago, when had the great debate with the province, and they said, okay, we'll allow for infill in certain cases, but we're not changing the zoning, we're not gonna allow that, you're not gonna change the parameters, you're gonna have to get variances, so.
So over 40 years,
Yeah, so-
It's not a public hearing, someone has their hand.
Oh, yeah, this is the subdivision and it's not a public hearing. Once we deal with the subdivision and we move into the variation, because there are variations required, then it will become a public hearing and you'll have an opportunity to speak now. Okay? Okay, any other questions for the planner? Go ahead, Derek.
I just wanted to note, ma'am, that further to Councillor Strain's comments or concerns about the orientation of the houses, as I noted, that is absolutely something you can put in a development agreement, but that's not, a development agreement is not one of the conditions being proposed for the municipality. So that comes at some added cost, and I'm not sure how much benefit that is for one.
I'm just thinking of the neighbors next door.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, if we wanted to add that in as a condition, it would just be condition 4, I guess, that the applicant owner enter into a development agreement if required.
You could say if required, sure, that's fine, because then if you decide later on that you don't really need that, then you just send us an email confirmation, we can cross that off.
Are you okay with that, or would you rather just have it a development agreement? Because I'm not sure what else we would be putting in the development agreement.
I remember that one subdivision that we did this on Rebec. Was it conditional or development agreement? Would it be development agreement that we?
So something like this, if you're talking about design parameters of homes, that sort of thing, we would say you put those in as a part of the development agreement. So remember, the conditions that you put on the subdivision are conditions that have to be met to be able to register the titles. This has come up once in one of our other municipalities where they wanted to put a condition in, and we said, well, unless they build the house that way, we can't sign off on the subdivision, register the title, but however, if you're gonna register the title, and it was kind of like a cart for the horse thing. So, the only way you can do that, I would say, is through a development agreement.
Well, I guess that leads me to another question. If it is through a development agreement, if we sign a development agreement with the current owner, then that property is sold, then the new owner is compelled to follow that development agreement.
That's correct, it would run with the land. And before our office could issue a permit for a house,
Right.
our typical process is that we contact the municipality and say, here's the plans, we notice there's a development agreement that has some parameters in it, does this meet with your DA?
Right. Okay, so what is the wish? We're gonna put another condition that the applicant owner enter into a development agreement with the RM of St. Clements,
If required.
if required?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else from members of council?
I'm just refreshing.
Okay, I'm going to ask Heather to read the resolution for the subdivision application.
Subdivision application S 243037, proposal of being to subdivide all that portion of the south half of OTM lot 227, parish of St. Andrews, lot number 10554. Resolved that council approve the said application subject to the following conditions. One, applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the CAO of the municipality that taxes on the land to be subdivided for the current year and any arrears have been paid. B, required applicable fees be paid as per bylaw 8, 2023. C, provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision to the Earl of St. Clements. D, applicant owner to amend the plan of subdivision to dedicate a 100-foot wide municipal road right away between proposed lots 1 and 2 without compensation in order to allow for extension of a future road. E, applicant owner into development agreement with the RM of St. Clements to address items including but not limited to, if required, design parameters of the future dwellings of proposed lots. 2, applicant owner obtain variances for the undersized lots. Applicant surveyor to amend the SAM and provide new lot dimensions reflecting RM of St. Clements. Condition number 4, applicant owner submit confirmation to whatever planning district or Manitoba Hydro that easement agreements have been entered into with the department with respect to its existing and or future facilities associated with the subdivision, and a plan of easement as required by the Real Property Act has been provided.
No, thank you for that, but I'm just looking, I think there was an error there that in condition 2, where it says condition number 4.
It's fixed.
It's fixed? Oh, okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, the resolution's been read, so I'll ask for a mover, please. Counselor Strang, second Counselor Bazarowicz. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll go ahead. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, we are now going to move into the variation because for this subdivision, the lots need variation orders. So I will ask for a resolution to move into variation board, please.
Resolve the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 4, 2024.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Bazarowicz, Counselor Sutherland seconds. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And Derek, if you could walk us through this last variation, please.
Of course, ma'am. Would you like me to wait until Councilor Forbes comes back? Just
Oh,
because
yes, so he
can't
can,
vote
yeah, he
if
can
he's-
vote on it if he's here. If he's not here, then he can't vote. So we will wait a minute for him.
Okay.
We waited because you're not here to listen to what Derek has to say. No, that's okay. That was important too, I realize, and we'll just wait a minute for Counselor Spicer now. She's doing okay?
Serious husband.
sir. And I should explain that if all council members are not in their seats when Derek goes through this and they don't hear what is brought forward by planning, they're not allowed to vote on the application, so we like to make sure all the council is in the room. Okay, Derek, go ahead, please.
Thank you, ma'am. This is variance number 4 of 2024 for the property along Reback that you just dealt with for the subdivision. Just once again, it's one of these long skinny river lots with frontage along Reback and Raleigh. We're splitting it in half here, and we're going down from the required 4-acre minimum to 2.46 acres and 2.67 acres respectively. This would cross off that one condition of the subdivision approval, and if you do wish to approve it, there's just this standard condition that we always have with the variance is limited to what's being proposed, and if anything changes, they gotta come back to council. But as I noted, our office did work with the applicant and the surveyor to make sure that the dimensions are correct, especially with that piece that the RM wants for the future road. So I believe we are all good here.
Okay, perfect. All right, I am going to my list here now, and the first name I have on, first of all, is the applicant in the audience this evening. Okay, do you have anything, can you please state your name for the record, and if you have anything to add to your application, that would be great.
Rajvendra Fura.
Okay. And do you have anything that you want to add to your application at this point?
No.
No? Okay. Now, we do have some other people that may want to speak on this one, so Roy and Sharon Naraki, are you in the audience? Would you
Yeah, we're just here trying to become learned.
Okay, so you're,
not cause any extra work towards this.
okay. So you're just here to listen
Yeah.
at this point in
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Yeah, so that in the center, as I heard Derek mention, that's a future road.
That's correct, yes.
It's a road?
Yes, in the center. It will be. It will be. It's not a road at this point in time, but at some future point it will be. It's a road, it's an undeveloped road allowance.
So it'll come in line with what is,
Hopefully
By
with
the
what is
hydro
there
law.
now.
yeah, it is measured.
Yeah. Derek, have you got a different aerial there that they can see where the other properties are? I know.
Sure. So you can kind of see, zoomed out, you can't really see the property, but you can sort of see there's little bits and pieces that people have subdivided. The RM has taken little bits you can see along here for future roadways.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so that's hopefully at some point, there's a roadway that'll go down the middle of all these sections, and that might spur future development.
Mr. Naraki, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or you're just here to listen and learn?
Yeah, I probably can start later on at the municipal and planning board offices. And then it'll get to a point where, whatever, I decide or we decide to do, but right now, I'm just looking at options.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Both Ben and Karen Villius, and you wanted to speak to this one?
Yes, we've got our lot is on Raleigh Road, just next to that empty lot.
What number on Raleigh are you?
4988. Just go up a little bit. No, the other way, straight up. Yeah, see, that lot right there with the long driveway? No, this, the third lot from the, from,
Who knows the lot book? It's the third lot on Raleigh.
3988.
We are right by the floodway with the little, third line from the,
Yeah, what was it you were wanting to say on this application that is before us?
are they gonna build a road across that, or?
I can't say that the municipality is going to build a road immediately, but at some point in time, yes, there hopefully will be a road that goes through all those properties.
Oh, you mean across this way?
North-south, not east-west. Like your property runs between Raleigh Road and, I can't even read what. Rebec. So the road that's being proposed would be in the middle of those running northward.
Oh, okay.
So there's gonna be a house on Raleigh Road and a house on Rebec Road.
If the applicants wish to sell the properties or build their own homes, yes, there could very well be a house on each lot.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
See, that's what the roads may eventually look like.
Yeah,
So can
the road down the middle.
Can we subdivide part of our land?
Well, that's something you'd have to check with planning, like how many acres do you have?
2.7.
No, because most lots that we are approving now are around that 2 acres, maybe a little bit shy of 2 acres.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but you're welcome to phone our office
Yeah.
and we'd be happy to go through it with you.
Right, yeah.
Well, we're right beside that, with the
Empty
building.
lot.
Yeah, we're right, and we don't use that part of the land, so, like, it's all empty. So we
Right.
probably only use about an acre and a quarter that we're
Of the
taking
whole
care of.
property that you own,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can always check with planning to see if they have any suggestions for you to subdivide that and, you know, see where it would go. It would eventually have to come to council, so.
So, the septic part, can they just build a septic like,
Holding tank.
do that for holding tanks in?
They have to go to the environment department, and I believe the rule now is you need at least 2 acres to have a septic field, but I'm not sure, this doesn't fall under the corridor, and I'm not sure about the frontage.
Yeah, it's completely up to the province. It's,
Yeah.
Okay, because we have a septic field that they're gonna build back where we are, 'cause we're about 75 feet away from Raleigh Road.
Right.
So if they build in between that, want to know how close that septic field is going to be to
Well,
ours.
that is all through the environment department for the province. They
Okay.
set out the rules of how close or how far you have to be from your property line, or even if you can put a septic field on that acreage.
Yeah, because otherwise it could contaminate our water at that point if there's too much there, right?
Yeah. Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Madam Mayor, I think it already said in this one that since they're under the 100-foot frontage, that they will be going into holding tanks both of the levels.
Okay, yeah.
You,
Okay, anything else that you wanted to add
No,
to
that's
yours?
it.
Okay,
That's
I
it.
have one more name on the list.
No,
Chris-
no, I'm good, I just came with the neighbors.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, good enough then.
she's our neighbor also, we're close to us, so.
Okay, so is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this variation order? Okay, so
Not anymore.
I'm going to ask for, if there are no more questions from council and no one else in the audience would like to speak, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing for variation 4 of 2024.
Resolved the public hearing for variation 4 of 2024 be closed and the regular session of council meeting opened.
Can I have a mover? Councillor Strang, Councillor Horvath seconds, all in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And now we need a resolution for variation order number 4 of 2024.
Whereas the applicant owner of tax roll 41600 legally described as lot 227, plan 10554 and located at 5069 Rivet Road has made application for variation order 4 2024 to vary site area 4 acre minimum to a site area proposed lot 2.46 and proposed lot 2.67. purpose is to reduce the minimum site area for the two proposed lots within the AR agricultural restricted zone. The requested variance will be part of the conditions within the proposed subdivision application S 24/3037. Therefore, be it resolved, variation for 2024 be approved with the following conditions. One, that the variances be limited to and being proposed in this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, Counselor Gazarow seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, thank you all for your patience this evening. I know it's been a little bit of a long wait. I guess the hearings are all scheduled for the 6 o'clock, and sometimes it takes us a little longer to get through them, so I appreciate your patience. So thank you so much for that. And, do you want to take a 5-minute?
Yeah, let's get you to shut off the camera.
Okay, do you want to?
1 minute, if you guys have time, just 1 minute. I
Yeah,
just have a
just give us a moment to shut the camera off. Okay?